All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, come down the rabbit hole with me. We are going down the UFO UAP rabbit hole. I didn't know they was having a hearing today about UFOs. Now, you guys know we went through the whole report that came out from from Stanford University of Harvard at Cambridge, I believe, that talks about the non-human entities and the ultra-terrestrial, extraterrestrial entities, the sacred terrestrial entities. They talked about angels, fallen angels, lizard people that came from in the earth. And we back on it right now, bro. I got to hear what's going down. I just found this and I'm going through it myself. So y'all about to listen to it with me.
Has there been any, to your knowledge, any communication with a non-human life form?
So the term communication is a bit of a trick word because there's verbal communication like we're having now. The problem is you also have nonverbal communication. And so I would say definitively yes, but from a nonverbal meaning, when a Russian reconnaissance aircraft comes into U.S. airspace, we scramble two F-22s, and we are certainly communicating intent and capability. I think the same goes with this. We have these things that are being observed over controlled U.S. airspace, and they're not really doing a good job hiding themselves. They're making it pretty obvious they have the ability to even interfere with our nuclear equities and our nuclear readiness.
Has there been any...
Hold on, so this dude sitting here saying that UFOs have the ability to interfere with our nuclear readiness. Let's go on to the next one. And where's the whole damn thing? I need it all.
Mr. Elizondo, in regards to these aircraft being piloted by whatever they might be, non-human biologics, would you agree that it's likely that they are being piloted by some mind-body connection?
Ma'am, I think it is safe to presume here that they are being intelligently controlled because some cases seem to anticipate our maneuvers, and in other cases they seem to, I came across an email where the word stalked was used in a very secure email between Navy officers.
Why is always some weirdos behind everybody in these things, man? I feel like these people behind him is aliens. First of all, watch this. Let's rewind. All right. This dude right here to the right. Let me make this big. I need this to be big so you can see what I'm talking about. Let's make that real big. Let's go right there like that. What the hell is wrong with him right there? If that don't look like some kind of black-eyed fallen angel hybrid, it's ridiculous. And then the dude over here to the left, watch his face.
Would you agree that it's likely that they are being piloted by some mind-body connection?
Ma'am, I think it is safe to presume here that they are being intelligently controlled because some cases seem to anticipate our maneuvers, and in other cases they seem to I came across an email where the word stalked was used in a very secure email.
What's that face he making right there? You see it? What is that? What is that thing? It's almost like a monster going. You see it?
Between Navy officers discussing their ship.
That might be a lizard person. This dude over here definitely some kind of lizard person on the right. I feel like they flanking his right and his left to make sure he understand what he can say and what he can't say. They said, we coming to this meet, which you better not tell all the business.
Being pursued by a UAP.
In our previous panel, we had Grush, and he had testified to say that some of these were interdimensional beings. Can you speak on that at all?
Ma'am, I'm not qualified, certainly as a scientist or otherwise, to speculate points of origin. I looked at everything from a scientific perspective. So if you look at, for example, instantaneous acceleration, which was one of the observables of the program that I belong to, ATIP, the human body can withstand about 9 G-forces for a short period of time before you suffer negative biological consequences, blackouts and ultimately redouts and even death. Comparison, our best technology, the F-16, which is this older platform, but one of our most highly maneuverable aircraft, manned aircraft, made by General Dynamics, can perform about 17 or 18 G-forces before you start having structural failure, meaning that the airframe begins to disintegrate while you're flying. The vehicles we're talking about are performing.
Man, what is going on with this dude on the right? What the hell is going on with him?
In excess of 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 Gs.
So are you I guess would it be?
She don't understand what you're saying. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 G. She ain't that smart enough. Lady, he's saying that this thing is moving so fast that the human body would disintegrate. This is why, Miss Luna, I need to be asking these questions.
To infer that they're living.
You're kind of cute though, Luna.
Craft.
You know, I'm not prepared at this point to state for the record is something alive or not, because even that definition is hard. There was a time in science we thought that life required oxygen, and we now know that's not true. There are anaerobic bacteria that thrive in an oxygen environment.
Dog, you know what alive is? Like, if it's sentient, if it can think, like if it's making decisions on its own, or is it remote controlled? Come on, bro, quit playing games. Damn it. They play too much, man. Just I don't want that. I don't want it that big, guys. I'm sorry. Let me go back one.
Because even that definition is hard. There was a time in science we thought that life required oxygen, and we now know that's not true. There are anaerobic bacteria that thrive in an oxygen environments that lack oxygen. And so also same with photosynthesis. When I was in college, it was told everything is derived from photosynthesis as a form of energy. In reality, that's not true. There are things that live off of chemosynthesis. So we're constantly having to reevaluate our understanding of what the definition of life is.
Has the government conducted secret UAP crash retrieval programs, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, were they designed to identify and reverse engineer alien craft, yes or no?
Yes.
Does the U.S. government have any reverse, okay, we already answered that question about retrieval programs. Do any U.S. contractors have the same?
I would prefer to address that in a closed session, ma'am.
Okay. In your book, you mentioned government employees who've been injured by UAPs, placed on leave, and receiving government compensation for their injuries. Is that correct?
That is correct.
How can the government deny we have recovered craft if they're paying people because they've been injured by
they're the government.
Craft?
Ma'am, that's a great question. That's why I think we're here again, because I've seen the documentation by the U.S. government for several of these individuals who have sustained injuries as a result of a UAP incident.
Has the government conducted secret UAP crash retrieval programs?
Man, why are these people behind this dude? Oh, look at this dude behind him. Directly behind him. Pause. What's up with him? Man, what the hell is wrong with all these people? Breaking. Oh, we know we're not alone. Do we have anything else on this? Give me a second.
Scrubbed, the metadata can be removed. I'll show you this example here. This is a presentation from the UATP task force. This is completely absurd. It's nuts. This level of censorship. Of
That's redaction. Yeah, they redacted the hell out of that.
It shows the redaction of how many reports they've collected, for how many years. 2 of the 3 potential explanations are blacked out. The Pentagon, the intelligence community is treating us like children.
You are a child.
How would you define, each of you, my last question, how would you define non-human biologics, non-human intelligence? What are we actually talking about?
They did a whole report on it, woman. Go ahead. Even though you're one of my favorites, so I'm gonna let you talk because you're one of my favorites. You Mace. I like you, Mace. Go ahead, Macy.
Admiral, and we'll go down the line.
I don't think it's a stretch when you look at the diversity of life on this.
Why is TV doing that? TV don't do this no more. See, the last time I told y'all, I started showing these videos with television doing this, and I told y'all it was lizard people. And everybody's like, that's a distortion of the TV. I told y'all it was lizard people. We had little lizard LeBron James do this. And you notice it's been doing this on a lot of these videos, which it don't do that. Now remember, this is on C-SPAN that this is being streamed on. So technically it's on TV. Let me go back. Let Mace, which are sexy ass, see what she's going to see.
How would you define, each of you, my last question, how would you define non-human biologics, non-human intelligence? What are we actually talking about? Admiral, and we'll go down the line.
I don't think it's a stretch when you look at the diversity of life on this planet and the size of this universe to think that there will be more diverse, higher order, non-human intelligences throughout the universe, and that's probably what's visiting us.
I would take the scientific approach. The definition would be the ability to react to a stimulus in a manner that requires an intellectual thought process.
I just don't know.
I think we must be modest in our assumptions that we're looking for intelligence. That could be biological, it might not.
Non-biological, but what non-biological intelligence, what does that mean though?
Artificial intelligence, ML, machines. We assume that all intelligence would be like us, and every time we look out in the universe, we are humbled relative to what we don't know in terms of the forms of intelligence and what it may take. I can assure you I probably can't ask you your question, but I think the ultimate answer is going to surprise us all.
It's an off-world intelligence that came to this planet called Satan that nobody seems to believe in. And he built all kinds of stuff. There was a whole world that he ruled over before he got his butt kicked. So of course they got UFOs, UAPs, shit on other planets, AI technology. Where the hell, think about it, where the hell AI came from, where it came roaring out so fast? Who the hell came over there and it came so fast to where it could talk to you? Of course, it's common damn sense. What's this?
Committee staff asked me to go ahead, and I will do it, to enter into the congressional record this 12-page document that Michael...
Nancy, baby, you got to do your hair, honey. You're beautiful, Nancy, but your hair all messed up, sweetheart. You can't be on TV looking like this, Nancy. You're one of my favorites, but you got to get it together, baby. You on TV.
Schellenberger brought today that describes the Immaculate Constellation government program. So we will do that now. Every member up here has a copy of it.
The Immaculate Constellation government program?
Now, every member up here has a copy of it. The first section talks about the unacknowledged special access program called Immaculate Constellation.
Immaculate Constellation. Let's write that down. We will be looking into that. Immaculate. What y'all think going on? You know what I'm saying? I know what I think it is. I know exactly what them things is.
Constellation. And
what you think it is? You think it's UFOs? You think it's fallen angels? You think it's aliens? You think it's out of this world? Oh, you aliens.
the second section about USG imagery intelligence. And Representative Luna just told me if I say Immaculate Constellation, I'll be on some list. Maybe a FISA warrant, so come at me, bro, I guess. But without objection, entered in the record.
My girl said, come at me, bro. Let's see Lauren Bover, she be wild.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Now that we have all been cautioned in this committee hearing that the mention of Pentagon's Immaculate Constellation program could put us on a list, well, I already find myself on many lists, I'm sure. So I speak my mind often, so why not just keep going with it? May as well just go all out and say it. The earth is flat, birds are government drones, and we've never set on foot on the moon, and Joe Biden received 81 million votes in the 2020 election. So let's just see how many lists we could get on here today. But Mr. Schellenberger, I wanted to ask you, I think I understand from this hearing that you would agree that classifying information like this is not in the best interest of the people. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, with the caveat that, of course, I would support classification necessary to protect secrets essential to national security, but I think it's pretty obvious that there's overclassification.
Overclassification, yes. And so in most instances, if they can't tell us what, do you think at some point they'll at least tell us why? President-elect Trump has repeatedly committed to greater transparency, both on the UAP issue, on JFK files, on COVID origins, and many other things. So I think that we need to make sure that the next administration is held accountable for that. Agreed. And this is for all four of you. Yes or no, please. I have many questions I want to get to. Are there any known instances of recovered materials or technologies that are not of human origin and maybe connected to any advanced bioscience defense programs within the USG?
That's an easy question. Yes. Yeah, but I forgot. It's their job to get stuff on the record. I'm sorry. She's doing her job. She's getting stuff on the record. Let's get it on the record.
I don't know.
I wouldn't be able to answer that, ma'am.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Them boys say you ain't getting no bullet put in my head.
Okay, so there
Say, y'all, this good right here. Hold on. I gotta get more comfortable. This real good. This real good right here. This kind of stuff. This is real good.
are rumors that have come up to the Hill of a secretive project within the Department of Defense involving the manipulation of human genetics with what is described as non-human genetic material.
They just did it to everybody when they gave them a shot on them. You talking about the super soldier program? Yep.
Potentially for the enhancement of human capabilities.
Yeah. They did a whole TV show about it. It's called The Boys. Yeah, they did a whole TV show called The Boys.
Hybrids. Are any of you
Yeah, they hybrids. We going back to the days of Noah. Yeah, we going back to the days of Noah. That's where we at.
familiar with that? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
I am not, ma'am.
I'm not.
No, ma'am.
Well, what the hell y'all up here for if y'all know nothing about nothing? Wait, hold on. Let's go back, guys. We get a good look at the aliens on the front row behind them. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Yeah. This guy over here on the far right, I talked about him last time. He turned out to be one of the greatest UFO researchers. I apologize to him. But that thing right there, I don't know if y'all can see my mouse. See the big girl right there? Behind this guy, the second from the far right, the first from the far right, to the left of him. Behind him is the girl. To the left of that girl, that thing right there, boy, that thing there is an alien. That thing right there, boy, that thing is an alien.
I'm not.
No, ma'am.
Okay, I would like to know with Immaculate constellation.
Don't be saying that, Lauren. Lauren, I don't want them to get you.
How does
You take good pictures in bathing
this
suits.
relate to UAP activities, Mr. Schellenberg, in oceanic environments? Are there any instances where the Navy or other maritime forces
Girl, you know they got a whole marine kingdom under the sea. Of course, they got aliens under the sea. They got people who walk down there under the sea.
have encountered UAPs that could not be explained by known technology or natural phenomena?
Yeah, the Immaculate constellation covers both terrestrial and oceanic, and there's actually a number of cases described in the report that occur in the ocean.
And do you believe that there is a concerted effort by the Pentagon to keep Congress out of the loop regarding these UAP activities, specifically in our waters?
Yes.
I think it's about 5% of our ocean that's actually been studied in detail by man, and we've studied more of space than we had of our own oceans. And so
Yeah. That's what happened with that deep sea thing where homeboy took that shuttle down there. The hell? I don't know who the hell this is.
So are there any accounts of UAPs emerging from or submerging into our water, which could indicate a base or presence beneath the ocean's surface?
I don't know about a base, but as I mentioned, I had a different source entirely describe this pretty extraordinary footage that exists of orbs, of an orb coming out of the ocean and being met by another orb.
Some would say that there's multiple hotspots where we see frequent activity. So in your investigations, have you come across any data or visual evidence like sonar readings or underwater footage of these UAPs?
I have not beyond what's in the report.
You've written about UAPs not only in the air but in underwater. Are there any specifics on what you've learned about the UAP activity in our oceans? Particularly, have you spoken with sources who have provided any evidence or eyewitness accounts of these UAPs interacting with our naval forces or being detected by our underwater surveillance systems?
Nothing beyond what's in the report and then the specific case that I mentioned with the orbs.
So this report says it all. There's no other information that we are aware of regarding the activity within our waters.
I have other sources that have told me that have shared a significant amount of information, but they're not comfortable with me sharing it at this point.
Okay. Are there any technological capabilities observed in these oceanic UAPs that seem to defy our current understanding of physics or our engineering capabilities?
It seems like they all do.
Yes, I would agree with that. My time is up, but I do appreciate your bravery, your courage for coming here and speaking today. And seems like there's still some questions that we need answers to, and we will not relent until we get those to the American people. Thank you all.
Yeah, y'all gonna get y'all head cracked open out here in these streets playing around. Y'all about to get your head bust and your wig split. Let me see what else they got. Is this the whole damn thing? News Nation.
The interest in this topic, again, is enormous. This is the line from just members of the general public, excuse us, I'm sorry, to get into this hearing. Now, Marnie, I've covered probably hundreds of congressional hearings. This doesn't happen. I've only seen a line like this to get into a hearing one time, and it was last year for the UAP hearing back in July of 2023. So obviously this topic, don't need to show you, more about how much people are interested in it. Now, today, I think what we're going to see is lawmakers and the witnesses try to move the ball forward and take this topic from something that was maybe once taboo or not talked about as much more into the mainstream. The interest...
the thing about the UFO, UAP, giants thing, I'm going to keep it real with you. In some senses, it's a giant trap. And in other instances, the truth needs to come out. But in many ways, it's a trap, bro. I mean, it's a attention trap. Because it's what you give your attention to or what a nation gives their attention to. I find it weird that all of a sudden we're having this hearing. I know it's probably been planned out for a while. No, it's risky, bro. This is super risky. What you say,
This,
Nancy?
again, is just the tip of the iceberg. We've only had 2 brief hearings on it. There's more work to be done. I think the success of this hearing today will mean that there'll be more hearings in the future, greater investigation, and hopefully more whistleblowers to come forward. This, again, is just the tip of the iceberg.
You know what? There's nothing that really came out of this, though. I mean, I'm trying to find something. Let's see. What we got? What's...
Okay, thank you, Mr. Moskowitz. And I would now, committee staff asked me to go ahead and I will do it, to enter into the congressional record this 12-page document that Michael Schellenberger brought today that describes the Immaculate Constellation government program. So we will do that now. Every member up here has a copy of it. The first section talks about the unacknowledged special access program called Immaculate.
Yeah, I mean, there's don't seem like the yeah, that's the dude from from X-Files. He the smoking man. He definitely somewhere in the background about to whack everybody. I'm trying to see, guys, if there was anything that actually came out of this. This is November 12th. That's old. I mean, there's nothing really. The one thing I think is weird is every video has an anomaly in it.
You specifically said the document said you can't talk about crash retrieval. Well, you can't talk about Fight Club if there's no Fight Club.
Correct.
Okay, I'm just making an observation.
Yes, sir.
Hero Lou Azado. Give me a second. Be patient. Everybody be like, GW, you need to sit your behind down and be patient. Huh. A lot of promotion. Let's go see him on the news. Let's see what he has to say on the news. Boom, boom, boom. Or is this just a photo? This is just a photo. You're not on the news. What's this? This is the announcement. Nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. Well, that was rather uneventful. People talking about a whole bunch of stuff we kind of already know. For the most part, if you've been following me, you know these things. I mean, that was real uneventful. Yeah, that was uneventful. Are there UFOs? Absolutely. Do UFOs come from under the sea? Under the sea? Yes, they come from under the sea. We know this to be true. Are there secret government programs? Yes, we know this to be true. Does the secret government programs have technology from what we would call off-world entities? Yeah, that's true. We know that to be true as well. I'm just not sure what exactly the big deal about that was. I'm sorry, I don't get the big deal. Maybe it's because people just want, I don't know. No big deal. I don't seem like there was anything disclosed other than a name that it seems like you shouldn't be using. And I'm pretty sure if you Google the name, there's nothing there. Immaculate something. But other than the Immaculate revelation, I didn't really see anything of any significance. Man, let me tell you something. There's something weird going on with this video, bro. Like, for real, something weird. Like, crazy weird. Because I was trying to resize this to get more of what they were saying. There's something weird going on with this crap, bro. Yeah, there's something weird. I just wanted to pick up on some more of what was being said because I felt like I didn't get nothing out of it, man. Watch this.
Excited about this program.
I checked the sources, and they are who they say they are. They are current or former government officials. Mm-hmm. I wanted to also add that I did not specify that they were Defense Department employees. I didn't specify the agency nor the gender.
Would they have included non-government employees, people that aren't employed by the government?
These are, I'm comfortable saying that these are government or previously government employees.
Any of them currently employed by a private contractor or private contractors?
I'd rather not say.
Okay. What's the key takeaway, just a few seconds, about the Immaculate Constellation document you provided us today?
I think that what the American people need to know is that the U.S. military and intelligence community are sitting on a huge amount of visual and other information, still photos, video photos, other sensor information, and they have for a very long time. And it's not those fuzzy photos and videos that we've been given. There's very clear
high res,
high resolution.
How many visuals, graphics, videos, photos?
I mean, I've been told hundreds, maybe thousands. I mean, I also wanted to say, because there was some conversation around concern around the revealing of these materials, revealing the source collections, but some of these are shot from helicopters using normal videos of oceans. I just think that's absurd that somehow you're going to be revealing some secret U.S. technology by revealing that you've photographed orbs off the coast of Kuwait.
Okay, thank you. I have 8 seconds. Mr. Gold, did the NASA independent study team get briefed on what you call OSAP? Very quickly.
I flagged the Advanced Aerospace Weapon System Application Program to our chair and our DFO. We did not get briefed, but I believe it is definitely worth looking into. That was probably the largest UAP review effort ever, and I think produced a lot of interest data, including revealing Nimitz. I don't know if my fellow witness Lou might want to, he did yeoman's work on it, might want to comment.
Okay. All right, I'm going to turn to Mr. Moskowitz, who will be recognized for 5 minutes of questioning.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. So, Mr. Gold, you gave a whole diatribe for a couple of minutes about UAPs, science, data collection, stigma. A lot of non-believers in all of this would just ask a very simple question. Why? Why is it so hard? Right? Like, why are people, anytime they ask, why are they always thwarted? Why are they always judged? Why is they always have misinformation spread? Why is there always retribution? Why is it always met with an ear? What's the why? If it doesn't exist, why is it such a problem?
I think if you go through the history of science, Representative, it is always difficult for breakthroughs and new information.
Man, because if the humanity and all of humanity knew that these damn things right here, these damn things right here came from alien technology and that they was being spied on, they would lose their mind. Now they know they being spied on. deep in their heart they know, but I mean, they don't have the confirmation that they're being spied on. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I know they might be spying on me, but it ain't settled into their bones, into their heart, into their mind that they are being spied on. You understand what I'm saying? They sitting there thinking it's all good in the hood. No, it ain't all good in the hood. It ain't all good in the hood at all, man.
Regardless of whether it's UAP or any other kind of discovery. And in science, we're supposed to be open, but when you break with the orthodoxy of what's believed, whether it's Galileo saying that the Earth doesn't rotate, or the Earth rotates around the sun, or the sun doesn't rotate around the Earth, it's always challenging for new beliefs. And the more extraordinary those discoveries, the more extraordinary those new beliefs, it's very difficult. So I think this is natural. There's natural conservatism that when it comes to science, but this issue in particular has been very difficult where, again, even to attempt to study it becomes problematic. But every hearing like this, every news report, every video, documentaries. I was privileged to be a part of something Dan Fair is putting together. I think many of us have interviewed for it, documentary over 30 different government officials. Every brick in the wall will help get us closer to getting to the truth.
I appreciate that. Mr. Elizondo, did I have that correct?
Sir.
I'm a recovering lawyer, so I'm going to put my hat on for a second. You said you signed a document. Love that. Who gave that to you?
The U.S. government, sir.
Okay, you have a copy of it?
It is stored in a SCIF right now. I do not have possession of it. The U.S. government does.
What department of the U.S. government gave you this document?
I will say the Department of Defense. Unfortunately, I can't say in this forum much more than that.
You specifically said the document said you can't talk about crash retrieval. Well, you know, you can't talk about Fight Club if there's no Fight Club.
Correct.
Okay, I'm just making an observation.
Yes, sir.
So that document that you signed, that you said exists, specifically said you can't talk about crash retrieval.
Correct, sir. It was a limitation on because already I'd been speaking publicly about the topic, and so the document said you can continue saying X, Y, Z, but you cannot discuss the topic.
When you
of crash
give
retrievals.
me the
Wow. So this boy they pencil whipped this boy. Wow.
atmosphere of signing this document. You're in a room by yourself?
I'm in a SCIF with a security officer, sir.
Just one-on-one? Anybody else?
There may have been an assistant as well. It was in a SCIF within a Department of Defense facility.
Give me your background real quick.
My background is I went to school to study microbiology and immunology, entered into the U.S. Army, and after a very short stint in military intelligence, I became a counterintelligence special agent. As a civilian, later on I became a special agent in charge, running investigations in counterterrorism and counterespionage primarily, with some experience in counterinsurgency and counternarcotics.
So this boy the real deal.
And then in 2009
He the real deal.
time frame, when I came back to the Pentagon after a tour with the Director of National Intelligence, I quickly became part of a program that was originally called OSAP that evolved into the program now called ATIP, which is where those videos that we now see, the Go Fast, the Gimbal, the FLIR, that was part of our effort, sir.
Right. So you're not some conspiracy theorist. You actually have a legitimate background.
Oh yeah,
Well, sir, I'm certainly not a
got
conspiracy
real legit
theorist.
black background.
I'm fact-based.
He's the real
just
deal.
A fact.
So when you're in this room, I want to paint the picture for everybody. You're in this room, you're by yourself, you're in a SCIF, you're handed a document. How long is the document?
It's about a page front and back. So basically, you have some things they call trigraphs, which I cannot, again, talk to.
How long were you given to sign the document?
As long as I needed, sir.
And what if you didn't sign it?
Well, I suspect there'd be repercussions. I wouldn't have access to certain information.
Were you allowed to ask a lawyer, or weren't allowed to ask for a lawyer to review the document?
It wasn't an option, but they probably wouldn't have allowed me to, because the document itself was pretty explicit about you have to be. Wait, you're putting me in an interest. Let me try to thread the needle here. There are certain documents that we have in the U.S. government that allow people to have access to certain programs, whether it's a special, and I'm going to be very generic here, whether it's a special access program or a controlled access program, SAP, CAP, whatnot.
How many people have to sign that document?
It depends how many people are going to get access to the information, sir.
Okay. Last question. Doctor, real quick, can you tell us about the Omaha incident in greater detail? I've read your background, right? Some people would label you as a member of the deep state.
Definitely deep state.
Since you worked in government for a long period of time. But can you tell us more about that?
Y'all know what the hell an Omaha incident is? Is that a plane? Is that a crash? What the hell is the Omaha incident? If you know, tell me, because I don't know nothing about no damn Omaha incident.
incident. You've written a lot about that.
Hey, I'm coming right back. I need some water.
I wrote a lot about incidents like it, Congressman, but that specific incident involved the USS Omaha, the littoral combat ship of the U.S. Navy operating off Southern California. I don't remember the exact date. It was within the last decade. And what the watchstanders on the bridge observed was a UAP, again, something that was aloft but had no observable exhaust or control surfaces. So it was something that couldn't be explained. And then they saw it enter the water from the atmosphere and going through the air-sea interface, and so thus exhibiting transmedium travel.
Thank you. I yield back.
Thank you. I'll now recognize Mr. Grothman for 5 minutes of questioning.
Yeah, we'll start with Mr. Gallaudet. During a previous UAP hearing, Navy Commander David Fravor discussed the TikTok object engaged in 2004. Are you familiar with the incident, the TikTok incident?
Yes, sir.
And that's almost 20 years ago, right?
Yes, sir.
It's been said there are more videos, documents, and reports related to this incident. Do you believe the information regarding the TikTok incident should be available to all members of Congress? And in your expertise, what reason would the Department of Defense possibly have for not releasing information that's over 20 years old?
Thank you, Congressman. I don't think there's any good reason to withhold information and important data, especially of national security concern, from Congress.
What would they say?
I will speculate, sir, that they don't want to share that kind of information because it reveals weaknesses in our ability to monitor and protect our airspace.
Okay. In your written testimony, you claim last year's UAP hearing before this Oversight Committee confirmed that UAP-related information is, well, it's not only being withheld, but that elements of the government are engaging in a disinformation campaign to include personal attacks designed to discredit UAP whistleblowers. Could you elaborate on that statement a little?
Yes, sir. Earlier this year, I met with the DoD's All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, and what I thought would be a 90-minute meeting just to meet with leadership turned out to be an hours-long influence operation on me, where they attempted to convince me of the validity of the very flawed and error-ridden historical records report. In addition, they tried to have me question very valid UAP reports like the Tic Tac incident, and even coming to stating possibly that the Tic Tac was American technology. And then, of course, if you ask David Fravor or Alex Dietrich, the two witnesses, they were convinced it was otherwise. And then, and they also cast discredit on various UAP whistleblowers and witnesses to question their validity and credibility as witnesses.
Okay. We'll go to Mr. Elizondo. Hope I got that right, or not at least
Close
not
enough,
that right.
sir.
You're familiar with the recent drone incursion over Langley Air Force Base?
Yes, sir.
The owners of these drones remain unclear. The U.S. military has not been able to give us in Congress an answer. Given your experience with the Department of Defense and the intelligence community, how frequently are UAP sightings over military installations? And secondly, I suppose hypothetically you could have incursions over just, say, regular airports. Is it obvious these incursions are more likely over military facilities than just a random airport out there?
Yes, sir. There's definitely enough data to suggest that there is certainly some sort of relationship between sensitive U.S. military installations, also some of our nuclear equities, and also some of our Department of Energy sites. There is a long historical record that some of your colleagues may have, documentation that demonstrates this. This is not a new trend. This has been going on for decades, and that information's been obfuscated, unfortunately, from folks like you in this committee. And I think that's problematic because ultimately, at the end of the day, we have a significant situation here. We have something that can enter into U.S. airspace completely with no attribution.
And how long has this been going on?
Sir, decades. And there's information that will hopefully be entered into the record.
Can you think of any possible reason why they can't release any information they have on something, say, 15 or 20 years old?
Sir, if I could echo my colleague here, Admiral Gallaudet, I think one of the big issues that we have in the intelligence community, Department of Defense, is we don't want to broadcast any potential vulnerabilities or weaknesses in our national defense systems or on intelligence collection platforms. Therefore, when you have a conversation where you address a problem for which there is no solution, it makes that a very uncomfortable conversation to have.
Okay, we'll switch to Mr. Schellenberger. The primary reason you're here today is because you published an article on the news publication that you own called Public, right? Alleging that a new unnamed government whistleblower has come forward asserting that a highly classified program exists dedicated to recovery and reverse engineering of UAP technologies. What can you give us what specific evidence you have or that your source provided you to substantiate the claims about the existence of the Immaculate Constellation program?
Well, you have the report in front of you now, so you can see it for yourself. I checked the report, and I did not find it based on existing cases. It was new cases for me. I hadn't found anybody. So that answered for me that it was not obviously circular reporting, which is one of the big concerns in this space. I also had the name of the program confirmed by more than one additional source. So yeah, and then of course I checked to make sure that the source was who they claimed to be.
Okay.
I should also say that when I said before it was this database, it is a much broader program than that. It also includes human intelligence, and then, as you mentioned, the retrieval and the reversal.
Any knowledge of what country these things originated in?
No, I have no idea.
Okay.
Okay, I will now recognize Mr. Burchett for 5 minutes of questions.
Thank you, Chair Lady. I request unanimous consent to enter into the record documents provided to us regarding legacy UAP programs and psychological operations. Lou Elizondo.
So ordered.
I also want to thank my buddy Jeremy Corbell for providing us documents and access to some whistleblowers. Mr. Elizondo, what is your last position with the federal government?
Sir, I was the Director of National Program Special Management Staff managing a White House Special Access Program on behalf of the National Security Council.
How would you characterize UAPs?
An enigma, sir, and a frustration. We're talking about technologies that can outperform anything we have in our inventory. And if this was an adversarial technology, this would be an intelligence failure eclipsing that of 9/11 by an order of magnitude.
Are there classified Department of Defense materials related to UAPs that you believe could be safely disclosed to the public without compromising national security?
I think we might be getting to the point when we're about to get the UFO hoax. You know what I'm saying? Like the fake invasion. It's been predicted by Alex Jones we would have the fake UFO invasion. I think we're about to get to that point.
Yes, sir, I do. I would never, ever try to endorse providing some sort of information that could compromise what we call a blue force technology or capability. But I do believe there's a lot of information regarding this topic, and I've been very vocal about it, that should be shared not only with the public, but most importantly, with members of Congress.
Are you familiar with my friend David Grush?
Absolutely, sir. I had the privilege and honor of working with him myself several years ago at U.S. Space Force.
Last year, as you know, he testified that the U.S. has run a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program. Would you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Are there UAP programs operating without proper congressional oversight?
100%.
What are they?
Unfortunately, sir, I would have to have that conversation in a closed session.
I know you said that, and a lot of people are frustrated with those kind of answers, but we're asking those kind of questions so you all know what the heck we're up against. You also mentioned in your opening statement that the Pentagon's Public Affairs Office employs a psychological operations officer as a singular point of contact for UAP-related inquiries. Why the heck would they do that?
A psychological operations officer is a single point of contact.
Safely disclosed to the public without compromising national security.
Yes, sir, I do. I would never, ever try to endorse providing some sort of information that could compromise what we call a blue force technology or capability. But I do believe there's a lot of information regarding this topic, and I've been very vocal about it, that should be shared not only with the public, but most importantly, with members of Congress.
Are you familiar with my friend David Grush?
Absolutely, sir. I had the privilege and honor of working with him myself several years ago at U.S. Space Force.
Last year, as you know, he testified that the U.S. has run a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program. Would you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Are there UAP programs operating without proper congressional oversight?
100%.
What are they?
Oh, dark budget UAP programs, meaning that's our spaceship in the air.
Unfortunately, sir, I would have to have that conversation in a closed session.
I know you said that, and a lot of people are frustrated.
That means we got alien spaceships, guys. It means that we have our own damn alien aircraft, guys. That's what he just said.
With those kind of answers, but we're asking those kind of questions so you all know what the heck we're up against. You also.
Why does she look so damn pale over here on the right? What's wrong with your face, honey bun? You need to get some sun. Jesus, help her.
Also mentioned in your opening statement that the Pentagon's Public Affairs Office employs a psychological operations officer.
Pentagon's Public Affairs Office employs a psychological
officer as a singular point
operations officer as a single point
of contact for UAP related inquiry.
Of contact for UAP inquiries. So when you reach out to them about aliens and UFOs, you deal with somebody who's trained in psychological warfare. Holy crap.
Why the heck would they do that?
Sir, that's a great question. I would ask the Pentagon. There's a long history here of that individual providing misleading and false information to the public.
Wait. There's a long history of...
session.
I know you said that. And a lot of people are frustrated with those kind of answers, but we're asking those kind of questions. So you punish them by giving them multi-million dollars more than they ask for every year.
I would ask the Pentagon. There's a long history here of that individual.
He's talking about the person. He said there's a long history here of that individual
providing misleading and false information to the public.
Providing misleading and false information to the public.
Through various news outlets and media outlets in order to discredit this topic. I've personally been victim to it. We have the documentation to substantiate where this information has been absolutely inaccurate, that has been provided time and time again. And it turns out that that individual was also working with former leadership of Arrow at the time as well.
And we punish them by giving them multi-million dollars more than they
Anybody know what the hell Arrow is? What the hell is Arrow?
Ask for every year. Admiral Gallaudet, you mentioned in your opening statement on an email you received from the operations officer of the Fleet Forces Command regarding unknown objects almost colliding with U.S. military planes. Did anyone respond with knowledge of what the objects were?
I received no response, sir.
Did the exercise get canceled?
The exercise did not get canceled.
Why do you think the commander of Fleet Forces operations officer never discussed the incident again?
Sir, I'm speculating because I didn't have an exchange with him, but I believed it to be part of a special access program, the information and the video, which we have known now it was, and he realized he couldn't share that openly with the recipients of the email, and therefore the email was pulled from everybody's account.
Again, tell us what happened to the email from the commander of Fleet Forces.
Wait, he said it was pulled from everybody's account?
More than they ask for every year. Admiral Gallaudet, you mentioned in your opening statement on an email you received from the operations officer of the Fleet Forces Command.
So he gets an email from an operations officer
regarding unknown objects almost colliding with U.S. military.
You're talking about UFOs colliding with whatever military airships or spaceships, or planes.
Did anyone respond with knowledge of what the objects were?
He don't know what they were.
I received no response, sir.
Did the exercise get canceled?
The exercise did not get canceled.
Why do you think the commander of Fleet Forces operations officer never discussed the incident again?
Sir, I'm speculating because I didn't have an exchange with him, but I believed it to be part of a special access program, the information and the video, which we have known now it was, and he realized he couldn't share that openly with the recipients of the email, and therefore the email was pulled from everybody's account.
Again.
Damn. Y'all heard that? You heard what he said? So they couldn't share with everybody. So the email was pulled from everybody's account. Damn. Yeah. This wild. Hold on, man. I'm about to restructure this. I'm gonna be back. We got to go through this whole thing from point one. We're gonna go through the whole 2 hours of this thing. We gotta do a deep dive on this. This about to be good. Yeah, this is gonna be real good.